Like it or not, every day we get another day older. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but aging does bring its own legal challenges and issues. Our next guest has a list of 3 things that all adults, but especially adults who are ready to retire, should consider having. Our good friend Ed Herman with the law firm Brown & Crouppen is here this morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
So a lot of people are excited when they get close to retirement.
Sure.
But there are a few things that they should already have done before they get to that point.
They should. And you know, this, I would even say you want to start even younger than that. But the first thing is a healthcare directive, which is also known as a living will. And this basically is a document designed just to let people know what your wishes are if you become incapacitated, to have some idea what kind of medical treatment you want them giving you, and also to assign somebody the right to make those decisions. And you should talk to that person ahead of time and make sure they know what your wishes are. You know, because you might, have a person who wants to pull the plug the second you get a head cold. You don't want that person in charge.
No, you don't.
You want a person that knows exactly, like I've always said, if I can still sort of enjoy watching television and a bowl of ice cream, keep me alive. If I'm past that point, I'm never going to enjoy that again. What's the point of living? Just pull the plug and save a few bucks. So that's me.
Yes.
But you got to write that down and make sure somebody knows.
So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Then long-term care insurance.
Now, long-term health care, yeah. As you start getting into your 50s, you at least want to start exploring it. Hopefully, you won't need it, until you're older. But this is a insurance that's designed to take care of you if you need Alzheimer's care or assisted living or nursing home care, and you want something that's maybe a little bit nicer than what Medicare might provide. So that's you want to get that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that can be so pricey, especially if you haven't thought about it until you need it.
Right. It's just one of those things. It's a cost of living, and if you're living properly, you don't want to put yourself in a bad position at the later stages of your life.
Something I have talked to you a lot about here off the air at Great Day is a will or a trust.
Yeah, a will or a trust. A lot of people don't know what the difference is. The key difference is that a will not go into effect until you die.
Okay.
A trust can go into effect immediately. And it's just, if you talk to a planner, they'll tell you what makes the most sense for you. It's very simple to get a will, especially in Missouri. The only thing you have to be is at least 18 years old, and you have to be mentally competent. If those 2 things are true, then it's just a matter of going through a couple of steps. There are plenty of online resources available, like I pointed you to, where you can do it without a lawyer, and it should be perfectly legally binding. But you could also hire a lawyer. The only thing is, a lot of people think about a will as only figuring out what to do with their money or their assets. And they say to themselves, I don't have any money, I don't have any assets, I don't really need a will. But a lot of people also in a will say things like, who's going to take care of my kids in case I'm gone and my spouse is gone? That's very important. And what to do with my body? It's a morbid thing to think about. But if you die, do the people who love you know what your wishes are? Cremation, burial, mausoleum,
and then if
launched into space.
It's exactly what I want, so I hope my mom's watching. Send me on the next Mars trip. What happens, though, when someone passes away and there is no will?
There are laws in place. That's called dying intestate, and there are laws in place that will dictate how your property will be disposed. Generally, if it's property, if it's money, a percentage automatically will go to the spouse. The remainder will go to your heirs, your children. But again, what if you're married but separated, and you didn't really want your stuff going to your spouse because you were just about to get divorced? That's why having a will is important, because sometimes the intestate laws don't really match up with what you would have done. And
I'm glad you mentioned those different life stages you can go through, because wills can be changed too.
Of course, they can be changed any time you want to be. Now, a trust is not always the case. There are certain trusts that are non-revocable. So, again, if you're going to get into that kind of complicated stuff, you definitely want to talk to a trust and estate lawyer, which we don't handle at our firm, but we do know firms that, we could refer you to.
There you go. I like it. Always good to see you. You make me so excited about aging.
Yeah. Oh, isn't it great?
Oh, it's going to be
fantastic.
Fun. And if you would like to
have a great time.
Awesome. If you'd like to get in touch with our friends over at Brown & Crouppen, you can call them anytime at 314-222-2222 or visit their website at getbc.com.